Hello, my wonderful comrades. So, it's 1970, 16th of October, and the Republic is going from strength to strength. But a few points at which the Republic's balance has dropped pretty low, but we have always managed to cling on, and now we are starting to really develop. So my plan now is to, well, in 1971, is to begin building the secondary and, well, just the other. So we've got the names. I had a few comments about how the names of North Severna, East Severna, and everything was a little bit boring, which I do agree with. It is really hard to think up place names. So I had those as placeholders. So now it is, so what was, I'm just going to be bearings, right? So what was West Severna is now Drevara, or Drevera. North is Velastra, and east is Oranthis. Now, if you can work out quite what those names are derived from, I will be impressed. They are all derived from something, yes, but yeah, we'll see who makes the connections there. So what we'll do is, at the moment, I'm building a railway distribution depot. As you saw, we've built open storages in Drevara, or just outside, Velastra, and Orthanis. So what the train will do once the depot is built, it will collect building materials from the different construction materials factories. So we've got brick and panels factories over here, and the prefab panels factory down here. I don't at the moment have any steel production. I am having to import all my steel, so it won't be collecting that, because I'm just getting that auto purchased into this storage here, which the construction offices know to pick up next. I don't want to start spreading out expensive steel everywhere. I only want to be importing the exact amount of steel that I need at any one time. So yeah, so that's the plan now. So one of the first buildings being built over in the capital district, and that's the National University. So that's 31% complete at the time. Research fuel production now, so I am able to also add a fuel refinery to the 2 bitumen ones that I've got already, and which is paying nicely. So we've got a large ship here, and it's got nearly 200,000 rubles in bitumen. Also, the first rail service has started. So we've got one train now going between Phonaxia and well, zone 1, I guess that technically is, but Oranthis, sorry, is the town that will be near there. These names you might think a bit boring, East M1 and West M1, but it's simply just because the game insists that you name districts, which I wish that changed. And again, like, don't get me wrong, I like naming places. That's not an issue. Don't like being forced to, though. But yeah, so that's the East M1 and West M1. So that's like it's called the M1 because it was the first asphalted road. And so it's like the sort of one of the main motorways of the island. And then one day this will be upgraded and will probably be the M2 once we get the construction of Drevara underway. So my plan is to have like the food industry, grain coming in, so grain coming in here, and then like clothes factories, food factories, and meat factories here. This north, I would like to have as like advanced manufacturing, so car factories, things like that. And then Oranthis will be primarily probably be fuel refineries, and maybe I will put the shipyard over here. Also, Finaxia will, it always happens, but it probably will continue to grow because the steel mill will probably be very nearby to here. Or I might build a very big steel mill and put it just on its own somewhere on the island. I'm probably going to do that actually, and then just get workers from different parts of the island. But Finaxia obviously being in the middle of the axis of the island, it's always going to be quite an important place considering it is the first time, but it's not going to be the capital because that will be Valkaza. So we can see the university is very much nearing completion. So there will one day be like a big train station here and several large government buildings. But right now we've just got this lovely little university just to kick things off. There's a lot of free homes left in Finaxia, so we're nowhere near capacity of this district because we will be expanding out this path, and we can go as far as here. Now these trees do represent the absolute boundary of Finaxia. So it won't be able to go any further than that. Well, I'll try and not do that because I really don't want everything just merging together into like a big lump that then is really difficult to expand on. Or anyone who's played this game and got maybe to like the higher levels of population, you'll find that you almost like box yourself in a way. So I don't want to do that. So I do want to try and spread the population out. And also, from what I can tell as well, if you spread your towns out and your population out, it does help with performance, because you're not rendering like the busiest part of your republic like all of the time. So I'm going to say that, well, I've not really got any first-hand experience with that just yet, but it seems to make sense to me logically. So I will be trying that with this map. So yeah, so no town will go beyond the trees. So I'm going to put, once I start developing a town, I'm going to, I mean, more or less it follows the size of the actual district, but you'll just end up merging districts together if you want to, if you don't stop yourself from just building it. So yeah. So that's the plan. What do you think? Do you reckon that's a good idea? Do you think that's going to work? I don't know. We'll give it a go. I mean, I like I said, I have built republics up to 350,000 people was the most. However, a little caveat there is that was on the older versions of the game that didn't have quite as many different utilities to manage, and so I think that like performance was just better, and it didn't. I managed to get up to that, and the performance wasn't too bad. But recently, the biggest republic I've built, I probably got up to about 200,000, and I tried to load that save recently to see if there's been any sort of incremental improvements in performance, and no, it still runs so jankily it is unplayable. Yeah, so that's that. So that's my plan. So also I plan to put a rail aggregate load in here so I can load coal, and another rail aggregate load it here so I can load gravel. And I'm going to add a gravel storage to each of these CS1s. If someone looks at CS1, it literally just means construction storage. That's all it means. So I've got them all set up, ready to be filled up by the rail distribution, which is pretty much nearly finished. Really. So we'll get that set up just now then. Just in the meantime the university is very much nearing completion. The main building being built, just a few decorations and things waiting to be completed. So we've got a fountain here, small observatory here just for the astronomy courses. That's one on the roof as well, but this one's for the public too. And we've just put in a few sports facilities around it. Fuel refinery is also completed, so let's get that connected. So I'll use, at the moment, one of these pipes is transporting oil to the pumping station, but got a better use for it now. So I'll turn that around. I don't think it's going to reach by itself. Nope. That is fine. I expected that. So we'll put an underground pump here. Should just about reach that. Then into there. And then an output. Again, it's probably not going to reach port by itself. But we will need a second. No. What? Oh, I stand corrected. It did reach. That's good. Just get another output there. But we also obviously need fuel for domestic consumption. So we'll just pop that. Actually processing. Right. I wonder. So if I go, I put that going into there. It's only one thing then. And then we'll put a tank here to hold the fuel. And then we'll connect it to this truck fuel loader there. Just build this from cache. Store fuel. So it is now processing it. It's making fuel for us. Anne's making it into that tank though just yet. There it moved a bit of fuel. Right, so at the moment it seems to be filling up this port, which is fine. That's okay, because it's only fuel that I have been purchasing. So every ship that left, I was paying a fortune in fuel. So, you know, it's all good. I want some fuel to go over here. I tell you what, I'll give that 2 inputs. So I'll pop another underground pipe in, underground pumping station. Didn't know, like if you've only got an above ground output, if you just pull the pipe down to the ground, you can make it underground. Always connect things like pumping stations and that, especially when they're moving fuel, to the roads, as they are almost guaranteed to go on fire if they're not connected to the road. The game, I think the game like almost like chooses stuff that your firefighters won't be able to reach to teach you a lesson. Right, so we've got 2 outputs going into this tank. So it should, yeah, it should start to get something. There we go. So there's some fuel. So we'll also build another. Actually, what I might do is build a big refinery now. It'll take a little while, but it's fine. Got a large amount of workers waiting for jobs in the construction industry. Always make sure that if you're using, like I do, the construction officers assigned tool, yada, 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 make sure that you set your max workers here, because it will fix it when the game loads. It's just 100. So yeah, that can be an issue. Got a lot of workers waiting around. So if I could somehow connect this bus station with this train station, get some of them workers just to go straight there. There we go, awesome. Also, what I'll do is get some little construction yards. So I like this little 4 construction vehicles depot. So I'll pop it down here out of the way where it's not going to cause me any issues. And we'll purchase some buses. If you want, I always find that with the construction industry, speed is more important than how many people it can carry. Trust me. So we'll only be dealing with workers, so set that as its station to collect from. And let's add it to the co-op. And then we should see it going, ooh, we need some workers, and come out, should do. Eventually. Yes, we've got a lot more workers waiting there. Works here, no. Yes. I think that's already got the construction depot connected to it, but well, we can never have too many. Again, we'll put this just somewhere out of the way. But now, out of the way never stays out of the way forever, but you know what I mean. Also remember that after you add a construction depot to your construction work group, that you reselect your construction sites, because the new ones you've added won't like register that it's needing construction. So already, yeah, we've had one on the bus. Leave the depot, going to collect some workers. Workers from the bus station here. Where's it off to? The oil refinery. I think that's another one there. So I'm hoping that we start seeing this unemployment level decrease. Anyhow, right, let's get that train distributing the construction materials around the Republic. So we need an electric locomotive. Speed isn't really an issue. So we're looking at a value. Nah, I want a more trainy train than that. I've got literally no dollars left really, so I am going to have to buy it. Well, it's one of these for now. I'm only buying one. And then we want as high capacity flatbeds as we can get. 5. Right. So that's this way you find out that I've not laid out my tracks right and it can't get anywhere. So load. So from there, it's going to load boards and bricks. And then from here, it's going to load prefab panels. And it's going to unload them to here. Unload to, right, yeah, we'll just do it to 50% to start with in all of them. Unload to here. Again, 50%. And then unload to here. Again, 50%. Just so that they all sort of balance out quite quickly. Right, let's see how that gets on. There we go. So it's off straight away, obviously, because all of the storages are completely empty. I guess not a bad looking little train. There we go. So that's the first load of prefab panels on its way to CS1, which is just to the west. It's going past the dump, which will be another thing that will be sorted out later on. Going down the coastal escarpment. Ah, my bad. It's because it's not got power. I think that's why it's not loaded anyway. Right, sort that out. So it's only going to need like literally a tiny little bit of power. So it's so expensive. Oh. Jesus Christ. I can't afford to do this one as well, I don't think. I mean, look at that. Yeah, now we. Oh, it's going to. Oh, well, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? Right, so now that's got power. So there's only one now that has got power. So we'll just remove that for now. So that's CS2, so just remove CS2. So just do CS1 and CS. I'm interested to see how. So it's going to try again now. CS1, it should work this time. There we go. Perfect. Right, so let's watch it do its thing. Yeah, I may have forgot to put in a passing circle that I've just had to quickly build. Right, that's watching the truck. Train. Oh, so we're going to get bricks and boards now. I wonder if it's loading both bricks and boards. No, it's bricks. Right, I need to get that gravel aggregate built. I will not be building that from cache. Let's get it connected to the railway. Refinery's built. Wow, that was quick. See, it's, good construction industry. Ooh. So, right then, let's get some aggregate unloading. Or is there any aggregate storages that have a railway line attached to them already? Yes. How much does this store? 4,000 tons, a small one. Yeah, okay. And we'll put that. Setting up fuel distribution. Now we're producing lots and lots of fuel. So let's have a look for the storage of fuel, and then we'll know where to deliver it all to. Or with stuff like this, what I have to go back to that. Never mind. What I tend to do though is just to get rid of the fuel purchase. and they will just go to the petrol stations once they run out of fuel. So it just saves you delivering it all. As long as you've got enough fuel petrol stations around, it won't be an issue. Okay, that one, actually, because that's like a production thing, I'm happy to deliver that. But all these construction yards, there's no point in them. Because they'll just, well, I think they will. I'm pretty sure they do. Because I usually deliver the fuel to them, but I've just thought, so what's the point in stuff like that? As long as you've got the actual, you've got enough petrol stations around, you shouldn't have to do it. But we'll see what it does. If they will just go to a petrol station instead of loading up at home. Okay. Oh no, that's gas station. So I do want to get rid of the auto purchase. Sure, I've got another. He has one right near it, isn't there? There. And just a couple more. Gas stations just to even out the usage bit. We'll put one down here. Spill that from cage. Ah! Unload, and then we will deliver fuel there and deliver fuel there. But we still want to remove the auto fuel purchase thing. So let's just, can I just empty, yeah. So if I just empty the hospital fuel. And there's the fuel being delivered. Ah, there's the other one. I couldn't remember. So aggregate loading has been finished. The depository one's done, nearly on the way.